London's been getting a bad rap lately, but I think it's a great city, and these are the 5 things I love the most about living there. Hi everyone, my name is Kay, also known as Coyote. I'm Nigerian American and spent 3 years living and working in London. I started out in South London in Brixton and eventually made my way east to the Dalston neighborhood. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the 5 things I love the most about living in London as a Nigerian born, American raised expat. One of the major reasons I love living in London was earning British pounds. I moved to the UK for work. My company at the time, I was working in investment banking, moved me from New York City to London. And while salaries in the UK are generally lower than in the US, this currency conversion, as of today, one British pound is trading for $1.33. So having that conversion kind of made it an attractive selling point. So despite taking a pay cut over the midterm, living in the UK for 3 years gave me the opportunity to diversify my income, diversify my portfolio. Not only do I have, assets in US dollars in the US, I also have assets in the UK as well, British pounds. I also had the opportunity to earn a pension in the UK, which was matched very, very generously. So I think that's a very attractive selling point to living and working in the UK as well. Another major thing I love about living in London is the diversity. London is probably one of the most diverse cities I have ever lived in, and I've lived in a lot of cities. I would even say it gives New York City a run for its money because not only is London diverse, it's also actually well integrated. There is diversity in every part of London, not just in wealthy parts and not just in poor parts. You're going to see people from a wide range of cultural backgrounds wherever you are in the city, which I really appreciated. In Brixton, you get a big Afro Caribbean population, lots of Jamaicans, lots of people from Trinidad and Tobago and other islands in the Caribbean. So that was really great and fantastic to experience. When I later moved to Dalston, I found that this was much more West African. I felt right at home. The ladies that were braiding my hair at the braiding shop were from Ghanaian, and in the back they had a Nigerian tailor who made me all of my agbadas. So I really loved this diversity. I loved the sense of community because it made me feel like I was right at home. And you're going to find this no matter what culture you belong to, whether you're Indian, Chinese, and everything in between. I think London is just so broad in the range of cultural backgrounds that they are. So I really, really love that. I also discovered one of my favorite Nigerian restaurants in East London. So you are going to find your own pocket no matter where in the city you are. And also, obviously, there are bigger concentrations in other parts. But again, this is one of the things that honestly, when it comes down to diversity, London is really, really hard to beat. Another thing I love about London is the proximity to Europe and the Mediterranean because trust me, you're going to need it. The average days of sunlight in London is pretty low, and one of the best parts is leaving. When I was there, I loved checking out the various Mediterranean islands from the Spanish islands to the islands in Greece to the islands in Italy. You are spoiled with choice. And with about 5 or 6 airports that service the city of London, you really have unparalleled access. You have a lot of access to cheap flights that are cheaper than you would should you were you living in the U.S. So this is definitely one of the things that I took advantage the most when I was living there. One of my favorite islands that I checked out, obviously, Ibiza is a very, very popular island to check out. I'd also suggest checking out Mallorca, parts of Spain, and also parts of Italy as well. The other thing I love about London is the personal development that's possible in this city. If you're an expat, if you're an immigrant, someone who's moved there by yourself without a big community, odds are you're going to spend a lot of time alone. You're going to have to learn how to be alone. You're going to have to get comfortable with your own thoughts and exploring your personal development. Lean into this. Personally, I took this as a time to explore my hobbies, to try new things, to take new classes. I took a music development class. I took more production. I started also doing more writing. But what happened in this period, in this 3 year period, is because I was spending a bit more time alone, I was able to reflect and focus on myself. I took this as a very valuable period of personal development and self reflection. And I encourage you, anyone who is moving to London or living in London, to look at it as an opportunity as well. Finally, I would say that access to free and quality healthcare is one of the best reasons about living in the UK. Whether you're a single person, a family, or whether you plan to have a family, having the security and peace of mind of knowing that you have quality healthcare whenever you need it is one of the most compelling reasons about living in the UK. Personally, I found that the NHS was generally accessible, although wait times were long sometimes, and trying to get an appointment was sometimes challenging to figure out. Sometimes you couldn't call, sometimes you have to do it with an app. At the end of the day, I was always able to get the service that I needed, and it was always free. I had to pay a nominal charge for any sort of prescriptions that I needed in the end. And whenever I couldn't see the NHS because of long wait times, I went through my private health insurance, which was available through my employer. So I definitely recommend adding this private layer if you can, if you have access to it, but it is not essential. The NHS, while wait times can be challenging sometimes, and while it does have its limitations, having this free healthcare is a big win and one of the best reasons to be living in the UK. So there you have it, y'all. In the sea of overwhelming negativity that we've been hearing about the UK recently, I thought I would share 5 things that I enjoyed during my time there. I did end up leaving the UK at the end of my skilled worker visa and have since moved to Lagos, Nigeria, where I'll be producing more content. I'll be sharing more videos about life in London, life in Lagos, so be sure to give us a like and subscribe and stay tuned for more content on life across borders.